What's up, everybody? It's your favorite alpha male's favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the Zeta Toys Catapult. In typical Skullface fashion, you guys already know how I feel about this thing in combined mode, and I don't yet. You have the advantage, or maybe the high ground. But we're gonna look at this guy nonetheless and judge him individually, as we've done the rest for a more fair and balanced approach to the whole set. And there's no better place to start than with accessories. He comes with one bag of screw covers. Nice that they included them. Would have been nicer if they'd installed them. Comes with one gun in typical Zeta fashion. It's kind of huge and maybe disproportionate to the bot. We do have some silver paint on there. Their gun work, you could use a lot of work. Using this groove in the handle of the gun, it tabs into a corresponding tab on the hand, and then you wrap the fingers around. The fingers are a little weird toleranced, and then he'll hold it just fine. The groove is on both sides, so we can hold it with both hands. Comes with two sets of rockets or missiles or whatever these are. I don't know, what am I, a pilot? And they clip on with C-clips here. We had some problems with them initially. These seem to be much better toleranced, as they have been since the first release. And then they have this peg, which tabs in very well into the side wings that you can have installed in robot mode. But of course, they're really meant to tab into the underside of the jet so that you can have rockets on the jet. And he comes with an alternate head for Silverbolt with a big old cheese. Silver paint and the metallic blue paint on the eyes, which looks fantastic. If this is the face that you're going with for your Silverbolt, you are a special kind of guy. And let's talk about the figure. So the head sculpt looks good, looks accurate. The only issue that I have with it is they should have gone with a metallic paint for the visor here. It would have just brought it to life a bit more. It looks like they were intended for light piping. However, the light piping doesn't really work. They must have abandoned that idea. They seem to have done that quite often. As a result, the bot ends up looking a little dead in the face, so to speak. Face sculpt, though, is great. Orange paint looks good. Everything else looks fine. It's on a ball peg. You get a limited range down, limited range up, full swivel, confused dog look. For the chest, you have translucent plastic on the chest and then some yellow details underneath and silver as well. That all looks good. For the shoulders, you actually have a double jointed system inside that allows you to get the shoulder a bit out, and my chest piece is a bit unplugged. Let's just get it back in. And that allows you to get the arm all the way up, pretty much. I mean, not all the way, but more than you would need, I think. And then the full swivel. So that all works well. A little bit of silver paint there, a little bit of tampo paint there. Bicep swivel, it's a single hinged elbow, but you can use the hinge at the bicep as well, which kind of comes through flawlessly. Doesn't get you much more range though, just a little bit over 90 degrees. The hands, the wrists are on a hinge that go up and down. This one's a bit undone. Let's see if we can't fix that. There. So the wrists are on a swivel and the thumb is on a ball peg. This ball peg tolerance here is a little weak. Mine keeps popping out as I've manipulated the figure, but yeah, problem with ball pegs, I guess. And then the fingers are all individually articulated. They're not quite accounted for tolerance-wise. You can see the plastic is kind of bending on these. So they're tensioned. Oh, no, it's a pinned hinge at the bottom for the base knuckle, and then the secondary knuckle is just tension, like they would pop out, and you could just plug them back in. So overall, fine. A little bit of silver paint there. This little bit here, that, you know, is a little unsightly, but I guess that's fine too. And then we have a waist swivel. No issues there. The hips, we have a little translucent plastic. All of these pop up and out, and that exposes universals. Ratcheted out to the side for the full Van Damme, so no issues there. Forward and back are tensioned for the full Monty, no issues there. Thighs are completely painted silver, which looks nice, and then a thigh swivel built around the universal, which is optimal. For the knee, it's ratcheted 90 degrees on a single hinge, no issues. For the lower legs, detailing wise, you have some tampo paint, some silver paint. These wings do pop out if you want a cleaner look, and then tampo paint inside there and all that kind of stuff. All of that is kind of fine. The ankles is really just a foot or feet, and they are on a ball peg, and that ball peg is connected to a hinge, so you can get it toe tilt down, not really anything up, and then a rocker. All of it's operating on the foot. It's kind of a cheat, but I think it works. And then from the back, you know, aerial bots never kind of present the cleanest from the back because of all of the jet bits. but I think this is acceptable. It's just kind of, you know, it's one of those things where you have to take this loss some kind of way, and there it is on this fella. Size comparison wise, there it is with Magic Square Prime, so that's a pretty good height. I can live with that. One of the few Unique Toys Combaticons that I can stand looking at, and the DX9 Breakdown, so he's about the same size as the Breakdown, which makes me feel good about the size of the combined DX9 Stunticons. And a Chug Rodimus, just because he's right here. Let's get him transformed. Now this guy uses most of the same engineering from Fireflight. You just open up this tab, you close in the fist, and then Combiner Wars the arm. Tab this back in, and you want the bump out and the forearm to be on the same side as the Tampo paint on the shoulder. Same on the other side. Open up, hand in, Combiner Wars the arm, close up, and make sure it's all aligned properly. Open up your tab here. You can kind of start untabbing most of this stuff because we have to expose the innards and fold in these red flaps to the underside of the chest. And much like Fireflight, there's a bit of a tolerance issue to kind of work your way around all that stuff. And then same as Fireflight, we have to collapse on these double hinges at the shoulder so that all of this stuff collapses and pegs together. And then the arm into the red flap. And then you can close the chest back up. Turn the head around 180. Disconnect the tail from the canopy nose cone section. Bring the nose cone section up and around to encapsulate the head, tabbing it back into the top and cleaning it up as you go. Take the feet, bring them out on this double hinge, turn them around, and just have them facing the opposite way. They'll eventually sit against the back of the jet. You just want to make sure that it's all squared away prior to. Once again, kind of same as Fireflight, we're opening up this back end section, getting it out of the way the best we can, Combiner Warsing the leg down, bringing this up, closing this up, and this flap comes up and swivels down. And that allows you to clean up the body. We're gonna do the same on the other side. Open up this flap. Combiner Wars the leg. Close the flap. Extend this piece. Now you wanna bring the tail wing back. Make sure that this is all as straight as possible. And you have to interlock these tabs that are in the back plates that cover up the rear end of the thighs and line them up with this groove that's in the armature of the tail, and then hopefully it all lines up. And then you have the wings. You just want to fold them out. They're on a double hinge here. You want to line up this peg and this tab into the corresponding positions on the body of the plane. And the tab kind of works more as a key than it does like sliding it up, you know what I mean, as opposed to just tabbing it in. And then straighten out these back wings here. They're the back part of those wings, and then straighten out your tail wings, and you're good to go. I'll clean them up, we'll take a look at them. And there it is in jet mode, and it looks really good. We'll do the size comparison real quick and get it out of the way. There's Tiger Tracks, and it looks really sharp. They've nailed the alt modes on this set. The alt modes and the limb modes. The bot modes look good, but they don't look amazing. They look good. They look presentable. I think that if you were a mega like aerial bot fan, like the way I am about the Stunticons, it would be worthwhile at the price of these things to pick up a second set for jet mode if that so suited you. Plenty of Tampo paint coming through. The red and blue paint looks nice. I do have like a little dirty spot right here on my wing, which is a little unfortunate. But outside of that, we have the landing gear. They do flip up. The underside is really clean in my opinion. Yeah, I think it looks really sharp. I think it looks really good. I'm not sure. I feel like these are not stuck in as well as they could be. There we go. I think it looks really good. I think they did a phenomenal job with this jet, as they've done with all of their jets. Well, Silverbolt, I think they did a really good job, but the limb modes, they nailed it. All right, let's get him into Superion mode. So I'm just gonna take the wings off because I don't really want them on my Superion, so I'm just gonna remove them completely. This piece here has to come up and over. Be careful of this piece because it just is tabbed into the side there. And then the head needs to come off. This flap needs to come up, and we need to kind of undo a lot of the transformation, unfortunately, in order to get back to a very similar space. So we're gonna get these arms up and out of the way. We're gonna tuck this head through. In order to do so, you really need to utilize this orange or red tab there. Same with Firefight. This engineering is pretty much exactly the same. The only thing that's different to go to jet mode really is the feet. So let's get this. We got to bring this double hinge up and out on both sides, and then we need to break the tail connection because we need to open this up and extend it. And then, unfortunately, we pretty much need to connect this so that these slots here correspond with these tabs there. So we're pretty much just doing the exact same thing we just undid. It's just extended now at the waist. And push the combiner port through as well. Tab this stuff in, down here. I had the same problem with Fireflight. This little tab here, these are just a tension swivel, so it's easy enough to pop back in, but just something you don't want to have to deal with, you know what I mean? Tuck that inside. I can never remember how that goes. And then tab all that together. Oh, shoot. I gotta bring the arms in. There. Then we kind of have to clean up this bit of business. So we're gonna tab this in to the top here. We can use this flap to pull down, get your combiner port out of the way. And then this piece, we have to do a little bit of work, and I do mean little. We just have to split this so that it's sitting kind of filleted, so that it can kind of eat the armature here, and then come underneath. And then just tab all this together, which the connections are right here. And it's just a matter of angling it. And then you should be able to get it down and tab it in. And there it is. And I mean, you got to sort out the elbow and stuff so that it kind of makes sense. We'll do that when we get to Superion mode, but this should give you a good enough look at it. Like, it's just solid as a rock. Like, the whole, they know what they're doing. I mean, we've said it before in regard to limb mode. I think these have to come up and around, but we'll figure that out when it's time to combine them all. You already know how it goes. That's the bonus for you. But yeah, really strong limb mode. Like, this is what they do. Negatives wise, there is some fit and finish issues, the way that some stuff has to move around other stuff. The same problems that they kind of had with Fireflight. The plastics are lighter. This is off-putting at first, but my theory on that is that those light plastics also help with the overall balance and stability of the combine mode, so it may be a necessary evil in order to sort of get the job done, as it were. It's kind of one of those sacrifices I'm willing to make. In typical Zeta fashion, the limb mode is the best, the alt mode would be runner-up, and then the bot mode would be third place, which is not what we're used to seeing with third-party transformers. It's usually somewhat of the opposite. But once again, it kind of comes down to your intention of purchasing it, which leads us to our positives. The limb mode looks fantastic and is solid as a rock. I can't tell you how excited I am to put this thing together today. I'm really looking forward to it. The transformation is intuitive and it's enjoyable with the few exceptions of things not moving as you wish they would. And the jet mode looks fantastic. And I think the bot mode looks pretty good. Doesn't feel great and it's a little clunky, but it looks pretty good. So yeah, strong recommend for me. I hope it all pays out. You already know the answer to that. I want to get to the next bot so I can know the answer to that. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.